So, you want to be a motovlogger. This is how you do it. You need to produce. You need to direct. You need to edit. You need to promote. You need to market. It's like you need to be a little machine. Cold start. Yes, yes. Can we show you guys the bike though first? Ooh, she's filthy. She's filthy, but she sounded really nice. Look at this carbon, man. This carbon's from Black Widow Creations. Super sick. Pinstriping on it, on the tank dash, on the front fender. Beautiful bike, man. Look at that 131 roar. Let's get on. You guys get to see it all today. New helmet. Nice little conversation. So, you want to be a motovlogger. I get this question a lot. People are constantly asking me or telling me, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel. What is it that I need to know? What is it that I need to do in order to be successful, or whatever it may be? And I'll tell you right now, there is no secret formula. There's no secret formula of, hey, this is what will make you successful, right? It's, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't. I'm basically doing this with my brand new motovlog setup that you see right here. So my brand new helmet, brand new camera, brand new setup, brand new everything. We'll get into that. That'll be its own separate video, because a lot of you guys also asked me, hey, what's your motovlog setup? So that video will probably come out next week, if anything. So tune in for that one. So let's break this off into pieces. Wanted to be a motovlogger. What's needed for it? Some ideas that I can give you, some pointers that can make things easier, expectations, and whatever flows after that. So let me just start off by saying that when I started this journey, I did it because I was just bored and I just wanted to document everything. At that time, I was making little home vlogs with my family, with my car at that time, which honestly, if I would have kept that car and if I would have gotten the car content, I know 100% my channel right now would have been probably 10 times the size of what this is, but it's not what I wanted to do at that time. I fell in love with riding motorcycles, and one day I put a video out on my brand new 883. At the time, it was 2018. And it became a thing. There was some traction here and there, and then I saw there was more traction, so it became a motorcycle channel. I stopped doing everything else that I was filming, which was just random stuff with the family, random stuff, literally going shopping, just a bunch of stuff, right? So that's how this channel you gotta love it. That's how this channel became what it is, right? So that's the first step. You first need to figure out why do you want to motovlog, right? Some people start just because they put a camera on the helmet and they use the camera as a safety, right? Just to record their rides, and you know, in case they get into an accident or something. Some people start off a channel by having the idea, hey, I'm gonna get into this and I'm gonna make this channel into this big old thing. Cool, doesn't always work out that way. Some people just start doing it just for fun. If it picks up traction, it works out. Doesn't always work out that way either. All I'm saying is, whatever reason you decide to do it for yourself. Don't do it for others, because I'm telling you right now, YouTube is so weird, man. The last thing you want to do is get sucked into the algorithm. And I'll dig deep into that later on in the video when it comes to being consistent. But at the end of the day, do it just for you. Do it because you want to do it. Do it very authentic. Don't do things because other people might like it. My channel honestly would probably be a lot bigger right now if I would do things because of the way that people like or don't like certain things. I don't give a shit. I come on here and I speak my truth. I talk about things that I like, things that I don't like, and there's a lot of times that people disagree with me, and I'm totally cool with that. There's some air in here, this thing is foggy. All right, so now that we got that out the way, what are some of the key things that you need in order to make this happen right here, right? So first things first, you need an action camera, whether it be in a GoPro, whether it be in this DJI that I got here, this action camera. My first time using it, so hopefully everything's working out perfect right now. So yeah, you need an action camera, right? You need to have a setup on your helmet, whether it is right in front of you, where I have it right here, in front of my chin, on the side of the helmet, top of the helmet, wherever you want to position your camera, the type of view you want to have for your viewers, totally up to you. You need a mic, so you're gonna need a camera, you're gonna need a mic, and a good mic. The last thing you want to have is shitty audio. I went through probably like 7 different mic setups at first when I first started this journey, and every time I kept getting better and better and better, and you know, until I found the right one, right? And this is the one that I've been using probably for the last, I'm gonna say 3 years. It's a pretty good setup. Audio sounds pretty good quality, but there's always room for improvement, right? It's not perfect, but I like the way it sounds. It gives like a very raw feel. You hear the engine, you hear a little bit of the wind, but there's no wind buffeting. Like sometimes you watch a video and there's a ton of wind buffeting, and it's like it messes up the whole experience of watching a motovlog video. So you need a camera, you need a mic. Lastly, you need a voice like this, a voice that can call out the attention of others. That's my radio voice. You need topics, man. So obviously, right, you're gonna be talking about whatever it is you're gonna be talking about when you're motovlogging. Some people motovlog to go eat at places. Some people motovlog to go travel and cross country. Some people motovlog talking about their bikes, just in a whole abundance of things. Is there one right thing to do? No. Can you do all? Yes. There's no wrong answer there, if you catch my drift, right? You do as you please. Now, at first, when you start your channel, you're probably not going to get a lot of traction. So you're going to be very strategic with the titles you use for your videos, right? Now, a title that a YouTuber with a successful channel would use for their channel doesn't necessarily make that title right for a new channel, if that makes any sense, right? There's certain things you could do after you have a following where people will kind of pick up on stuff, and they've been following for some time, and then it just makes it much easier when you have a following. At first, when you don't have a following, you kind of want to use titles to kind of pinpoint certain things and kind of draw the attention and bring that traffic into your channel, right? So strategically, there's certain type of titles you want to use, right? Right to the point, very clear. Another thing is quality of your video, right? You want to have good quality. Me, for example, I do not like watching videos where there's no good quality, right? Especially in this day and age where quality is anywhere and everywhere. You just need to use it, right? I like to watch good videos with good quality, with good storytelling. I'm not the best storyteller at times. I'm very direct. I'm very to the point. That's just my style of producing, my style of recording, and my style of telling stories. There's certain content creators that, you know, they might even make a script and memorize the script and tell it to you guys as they record. I don't do that. I've never scripted anything in my life. I don't like that. I like to give raw, authentic, genuine words and wisdom, right, as I go, straight from the heart. Now that we got all of that out the way, the number one thing you need to do after that is just be consistent. We spoke about, you know, the YouTube algorithm, right, briefly. So here's the thing with YouTube. You need to be consistent in order for YouTube to keep pushing your videos or even make it pop up in front of other people's pages or computers or phones, whatever it may be. So if you make a video, right, you make a video today, and then maybe in a month or two you make another video, and then a month or two after that you make another video. It's not really consistent. It's not what YouTube wants. So they want consistent, right? They would love it for you to post a video every day if it was up to them. I try to not do that. I went through a time where I was uploading 3 or 4 videos a week, and it was just a lot of work, man. It was killing me. It was just too much. It was too much quantity and not enough quality, right? So I learned right after that, well, quality over quantity, but at the same time with a good traction, right? So then I dropped it down to like 3 or 2 videos a week. Right now, currently, I try to upload twice a week. That's where I keep it at. Sometimes maybe once, if anything. But what I don't do is maybe do a video a month. Now, if you have a huge following where you have like 1 million or 2 subscribers, you could, that'll work for you. Because that's another thing. Depending on the size of your channel, there's certain amount of times that you can post or shouldn't post. It's just a lot of logistics that goes into it working out, right? At first I did this for fun. I did it just to do it. But when I found out that I was able to kind of make revenue off of this and expand and sell cool stuff like this, like I got my own glove now because of this channel. This is glove in collaborations with Torque Motorcycle Co. And it's it's because of you guys watching that I'm able to do this cool stuff. And yeah, I got my own glove, man. It's awesome. Yeah, now that, now is it still fun for me? Yes, it's still fun. I just love doing this. If this wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it at all. I love doing this. I love sharing everything that I do with the culture. And then on top of that, why not get paid for something that you love doing, right? It's a no-brainer. Yes, I've had great opportunities to work with a lot of different companies. I've had opportunities to collaborate with a lot of companies. It's just been a great journey, right? It doesn't always work out that way. I know a lot of people that have started YouTube channels and it hasn't been as successful. Hell, my channel is not that successful. We're emerging up to close to 40K soon, right? We're about to hit 39, maybe like in a week or two, and then we're gonna strive for that 40K milestone. But I mean, even to me, it's been, it's taken me a few years to get to this point. But when you think about it, it's like, wow, almost 40,000 people tune in. They welcome me into their homes. Because that's the one thing about this, is like, if whoever wants to watch, watches. But if you don't want to watch, you don't watch. But the fact that you're inviting me into your homes on a weekly basis or to your phone, and allow me to take up your time during your break time to entertain you, it's pretty cool. It's there's just a real deep aspect into it, which it's awesome. And talking about success, with success comes a lot of haters and haterisms, right? So, I mean, the comment section is probably one of the worst places you could visit. I don't mind it. I have tough skin, so I like reading through the comments. I like to see the shit talk. I love to see the haters, and I love to see the good comments. Obviously, mostly that's what I look for, right? So it's the good comments that we want to see. But you need to have some tough skin. I'm telling you right now, man. Some people are not built for the comment section, and the comment section could destroy you. Literally. I've learned throughout these years to be a bigger troll than the trolls. There's times where I'm too busy to even reply to some certain comments. I'm like, whatever. But when I have time, I become the biggest troller, and I troll people right back. And not because it's out of anger or anything. It's because it's just comical to me. It's funny. This whole motovlogging thing is a lot of work, believe it or not. A lot of people think, oh, well, this person just records videos and uploads them and that's it, right? You're wrong, my friend. You, as a content creator, any content creator who does everything themselves like I do, and a lot of others do as well, you need to be the writer. You need to come up with a script. My scripts, I come up in mind and I do them fluently, right? But that's what I'm talking about. You need to come up with ideas. You need to produce. You need to direct. You need to edit. You need to promote. You need to market. So it's like you need to be a little machine and know a little bit about everything in order to be successful, right? I learned everything on my own. I didn't have anyone show me how to edit. I didn't have anyone show me how to come up with ideas. Everything stems from me, right? And I need to do everything myself. But I love that. I love that. I love the amount of work that it goes into. Listen, there's been times where it could take a few hours to edit a 15-minute video, 4 hours, 5 hours, right? And that video sometimes bombs. It bombs. It might not get the views you might thought it would have or whatnot. And that sucks because there's a lot of time and a lot of effort that goes into making these videos and putting them out there, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but hell, whatever, you continue to just keep doing it. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to stay motivated, right? There's going to be times where maybe your videos aren't producing the numbers that you want to, but motivation, keep motivated, keep pushing yourself. I'll be honest with you guys, there was a ton of times where I was like, I kind of don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of it, right? And there's times where you get burnt out. There's a certain time where every motovlogger kind of gets burnt out. I remember 2 years ago, I think it was like a month or a month and a half that I didn't put anything out. I was just burnt out and I didn't want to do anything. That's why at times, like, I like the fact that I don't just have to rely on this as my job, because I have my 9 to 5, right? I have my real job. This is just extra for me, and I'm having fun doing it. But does it get tiring? Yes. Do I get burnt out at times? Yes. Is it hard work? Yes. But is it fun? Yes. And I love it, man. This has been an experience. It's allowed me to have this beautiful bike and share with you guys. I have many other bikes. It's allowed me to share stories, bring you guys along to the rides, and show you everything through my eyes, man. That's probably one of the coolest parts, is that I'm able to show you and tell your story through my eyes, and maybe make you see things differently, right? So what else can we say? I think that's it. If you want to be a motovlogger, do it. I always encourage people to do it. If it works out, cool. If it doesn't, cool. At least you tried, and whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or comments, drop your thoughts or your comments down below. Let me know. If you want to see more conversation videos like this, let me know down below. I have a lot of stuff planned for the next weeks to come. Whoa! Pulling up to the Tour Custom Cycle Shop right now. Anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Like always, let the force be with you. Ride safe and enjoy the ride, baby. Peace.